Happy Tuesday! It's time for Stories with Sarah Lizabeth. Thank you so much for joining me again today. So glad to have you. Hey, so it's wedding week and I'm so excited because our fall season is starting and I'm thrilled to be, it's like I don't feel human unless I'm working a wedding. So I'm really excited this week. The studio is about to be filled with flowers and we're gonna be pulling inventory pretty soon. So we're gonna be getting ready for Saturday's wedding, which I'm thrilled about. And so I wanted to introduce you all to something that is going to be so awesome that we're gonna be doing here on Stories with Sarah Lizabeth. So I have decided that I want to invite my team here to the studio and I want you to get to know them. So each week we're gonna offer up a new vendor for you to learn about, someone that's on our team, why they do what they do, what do they do, and just some funny stories that they have to share about weddings because we all love a good story. And I've told y'all before that I just love my team. I mean, they're amazing. You know, through the years, some have come, some have gone, and you know, we've gone separate ways, but there are some that have been with me for over a decade, and I can't wait to introduce you to them. And there's also some new relationships that I would love to introduce y'all to as well. So I'm really looking forward to that over the next few weeks so that you all can meet the people that I love and care about so much. And so it reminded me of a story that I wanted to share with you today about having an amazing team in place when things kind of go bad. When things go bad, who's going to be in your corner to take care of those and take care of you in those times? So I'm excited to share this story with you. It was a crazy day, but in the end, we pulled through because of the good vendors that were in place. So enjoy it and happy Tuesday. All right, let me paint the picture for you. We were at this venue that I love, but the thing about it is there is a very, very quick load in. And the space to load into, like getting the big trucks back there and dealing with all the vendors arriving at the same time because we have such a limited time, is a little challenging. So essentially when our team comes in there, a lot of us don't really even talk to each other because we're like, okay, my team's working on flowers and decor and setting up the ceremony. The bartender's setting up her bar. The rental company's coming in and doing the chairs and the linens and the china. The lighting company is there doing, you know, chandeliers and string lights and things. And so we're all just, we know we've got a mission and we've probably got less than 2 hours to get an entire wedding set up. So that includes like getting there, loading out, setting up, and then cleaning up, you know, to make sure that it's good to go. So the thing about this wedding in particular is that all of our crew was getting there at 3 and we were gonna load in really quickly and everyone knew, you know, what to do and where to be and what they were doing that day. And I had to be at the church, which was at another location, about 30 minutes after I got to the venue for the reception. So I'm there just to make sure everybody is there, my crew is setting up, and they know what to do, and they're kind of making sure all the other vendors are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but no one's probably really talking to each other because we have such short time to do it. And so I hop over to the church and you know, get them through the ceremony and I come back. So I come back about 10 minutes or so before the reception, like the guests are gonna be there for the reception. So I kind of cut out a little early from the church, got over to the reception, and I pulled in and, you know, I had been talking to my crew the entire time and they were kind of giving me updates on, you know, what was going on and that we were all, you know, going as planned and everything was getting set up and they didn't even understand how. I mean, everyone was working so fast and getting it done. So it was about an hour and a half and they had the entire wedding set up. And so when I arrived on property, I was like really excited because I knew, you know, we were done and I didn't have to do a bunch of hustle in that last 10 minutes. And so I was really excited to kind of just survey everything, make sure, like, put the final details on everything and get ready for the guests to arrive. One would think that that's exactly what I did when I got there, but wouldn't you know that everybody got done about 10 minutes to spare. And so when I walked in, as I was driving there, I could see these storms rolling in. And I was like, oh, here we go. Like, here comes some storms, yay. My favorite thing on a wedding day. So I'm driving in, I'm seeing these storms, and they look pretty ugly, and so I'm checking the radar. I'm seeing, kind of in my head thinking of a rain plan of where we're going to put the guests, instead of doing the outdoor cocktail hour that we were going to have them in the carriage house, and just kind of going through that in my head as I was logistically, driving there and figuring out the logistics. So I pull in, and y'all, as soon as I walk up the path to go to where the reception is and to make sure everything is in place, there, to describe like the venue for you, there's breezeways and like openings where, the wind can just kind of come through perfectly. And all of the sudden, this huge windstorm comes sweeping through the reception hall. Now, my crew and my team, and they had just finished this like 10 minutes before. And I literally walk in and I bring this huge gust of wind that comes with me. I mean, the hair is blowing. Literally all of the string lights are like swinging everywhere. The linens and the china and the chairs are falling over. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Like it was like a mini tornado that came through this breezeway perfectly. Knocks out the buffet. Knocks out the cake, literally like it's pulling, the band's lights are falling down, they're freaking out, like what's going to happen with all of our stuff. It was awful. It was not a good thing. So I'm just like, I brought the storm, I literally walked in and this huge gust of wind comes. So we didn't really talk much after that. I mean, the crew was still there waiting on me because they knew I was on my way and they wanted me to make sure, to check everything off. Well, as soon as this storm comes in, and it probably lasted like a good solid minute, which a minute of, hurricane force winds, tornado winds coming through an event is a long time. It's like everything, you just are trying to grab whatever you can. You're just like, what can I save? It's like you're going back in for, whatever's most important. So we're trying to hold down things that, shouldn't be held down, and, holding lights and things like that. And it took about a minute for this to kind of blow through, literally, this reception area. And everyone just looks at Sarah. They're like, well, what do we do now? And I literally looked at them and I was like, fix it. We're fixing it, come on. And so we all jump on it, and we are, picking up chairs. We're picking up broken glass that had fallen. We're, resetting table placements. We're fixing the sternos that had burned out on the buffet line. We're doing all of these, we're reattaching string lights that had fallen down. The band is picking up their lights and their sound equipment, and we are just like hustling. Like we've got 10 minutes before guests get there. And so we all just worked so fast to try and get this under control, which was a huge task. To be honest, I wasn't sure that we were gonna make it. Like it was the worst thing that I had seen happen in a matter of a minute, where an entire event gets just trashed. It literally looked like a tornado had gone through. And I'm on the GPS with the transportation company while I'm trying to pick up plates and everything that have broken. And they're giving me like an estimated time on when bridal party and guests are arriving, because they're shuttling them all to the property. And so I just tell them, I'm like, we're gonna need a minute. Like we're gonna need a minute before they get here. And so they kind of like took them the scenic route, and it was raining, so that kind of helped a little bit. It slowed them down a little bit. But I think we got maybe 5 extra minutes to get this done. So in a matter of 15 minutes, we reset literally an entire reception. And I just looked around. I was a holy hot mess. I was like wet from the rain, wet from sweat, just like the client saw me, all put together at the church. And then the next time they would see me, I would look a hot mess. So I was trying to like get myself together, get the reception, and literally the bride and groom walk in, and I'm like, hey, welcome to your reception. And I try to like pretend like nothing was wrong and that nothing happened, and they still to this day, like the clients that they could be watching this video and they honestly would have no idea that it was them, because my team, I was so proud of them. They did what they had to do to get it done. And you know, when stuff like that happens at your event, because we didn't plan for that, you know, but we also didn't have a backup plan for when the tornado came through and knocked out everything. You just have to get it done. You just have to go. And the team, you know, pulled together and they did an amazing job to get everything reset in a matter of 15 minutes, which is insane, y'all. Like, I know all of you don't know events, but it's crazy what we had to do in 15 minutes. So I was just so proud of them and proud that they were on the Team Regalo. So the whole point of sharing with you this story was to let you know that I'm going to be introducing you to some of these amazing people, and I can't wait for you to meet them. And they all, you know, they don't work with me every weekend, so they all have really funny stories and things that they do outside of Regalo events. So I'm excited. I've told them I don't want to know the stories. I want them to tell me like as we're recording it, so that y'all can experience it too. But, you know, the moral of this story is, you know, when storms come in life, who's going to be on your team? And sometimes, you know, there are people that you put on your team in a wedding or an event situation in life. You know, who's on your team? Who are these people that have your back no matter what? And when storms can come in 15 minutes and you know, and help you and get it reset, get a reset button. You get a reset button in life. So, you know, and sometimes there's toxic, you know, vendors and toxic people in your life that just shouldn't be in your life because they're causing those storms and those tornadoes. So anyways, just who's on your team? That's the moral of this lesson, is who's on your team. And that is in events, that is in life, that is in your business, and who are you surrounding yourself with? I hope you all enjoyed that story. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to introducing you to some of my friends and colleagues over the next few weeks. So, as always, have a wonderful week.